have to have a standard. What do you want? You have to know what you want. These are hard lessons to learn in business, to say, what do you want in an employee? What do you want in X, Y, or Z? And holding everybody to that high standard. You have to have high standards, but it's important to hold people to that, because if you don't, you let everybody else down. People always say, what is your secret sauce? How do you succeed at what you do? And I'm glad to tell them, you provide consistent, safe, low-cost, high-quality marijuana, but more importantly, you do it with great customer service.
This is the journey of the Williams family, who began with little. The Williams were one of the nascent groups who built the Colorado legal cannabis industry from scratch. 2016 is a year of tremendous growth and change for the family and the industry. This is part 5 of a 12-part series.
Nobody really knows what I do here at Medicine Man, myself included. What's up? I'll take that.
Usually do, that's why I asked.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
You were getting to it. Nobody knows what you do. But...
So what I do is I take paperwork and I just put it on my desk. That's about it.
So Alon is great. We work really well together.
So nobody really knows what I do because it's extremely nebulous. It's always changing. It's a little bit of a lot. I'll go through the list. I do some compliance work, licensing and permitting work, bookkeeping, accounting, some media stuff, VIP tours stuff. It just keeps going. It's most likely because I'm a very detail-oriented person, and I feel, and I hope my employers feel this way, you can interview them and ask them for me, that I really don't let them down. I do my best, I give it my all, and I feel like I always come through.
We work really well together because we're both kind of snarky and bitchy at times, and we have a shorthand because we've worked together for so long. Andy recruited her and really liked her and brought her on, and at first I was like, what do we need her for? But then she proved her worth, and she was doing licensing and things like that, and I just grew to really like her.
I saw Andy give testimony at at some sort of working group that was being held at the state level, and I thought, oh gosh, this guy is pretty motivated, pretty smart. I met him a second time at a marijuana industry group meeting, and just liked his personality, and then got to know him through the industry group, and he gave me a tour of this facility. And when I saw his facility, how well, just how state-of-the-art he had his whole cultivation facility set up, I was really impressed, and I thought, wow, I'd really like to end up with this company at some point. I didn't know when or how that would work out. I left my previous company, and that day when he found out that I had left, he called me up that day and offered me a job, so I was very excited to take it.
She's become a good friend. And then she left us for a while, which I didn't think she should do.
It's not like when I left it was because I wanted to leave. It was just this great opportunity that I felt was, something I really couldn't pass up. So I was sad when I left the first time, and then when I came back, it was this relief of coming back where I feel like I belong, and I was, really productive here, and I felt like, there's just a lot on my plate, and I could really tackle it, take it on, and so I was really glad.
I was right. Sorry, Alon. Just kidding.
Sally and I work really well together. I have a ton of respect for her intellect and the way that she sees things. We see things pretty much spot on all the time, we agree. So I think it's just easy to be able to work with somebody that you essentially see eye to eye with on pretty much everything.
What is most important in my relationship with Alon is that I trust her. And I needed someone who was going to take money over from me. And we'd had issues with money before, and she was looking for a new opportunity, something that she hadn't done to sort of fill out her resume. She agreed to come back, and I was so happy that day. So it's been great.
I've noticed that employees who let employers down tend to get fired or not promoted or not paid well. I strive to be paid well, I strive to be treated well, I strive to continue to move up. How much is it? Okay, cool. I get along with them really well. I respect them immensely. They work really hard, motivates me to work really hard. And then, you know, I'm not a family member by blood, but they make you feel like you're part of the family, and so I definitely feel included and appreciated.
What makes Medicine Man what it is?
Family, definitely. I mean, you've got Pete Williams, who dreamed it, you've got Andy Williams, who built it, and you got Sally Vanderveer, who runs it.
I used to manage a tile warehouse, and Pete Williams was actually a tile installer, professional, and he used to come to my warehouse to pick up his tile. And eventually he asked me if I wanted to trim some leaves for him, which I thought was maintenance work, or, you know, landscaping work. And I was like, sure, you know, I'll do that on my downtime. And he said it was going to be a nighttime job anyway, so I'd be able to work my full-time management job at the tile warehouse and then do some, which was weird. I was like, landscaping at night was a little weird.
So Pete V is a rock. I'm really proud of him. He's only 30 years old, and he's been with us for over 5 years, started as a trimmer.
And then I showed up to this warehouse, and we hit it off right off the bat. You know, we were both named Pete, and he's like, oh, I'm Pete, you're Repeat. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go with it for a while, you know. And I started off trimming in the back, and we hit it off really good. His daughter actually needed a couple days off, so I volunteered the reception for her. I was like, I'll do anything for you guys. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So I went up front, did some receptioning, seeing how they worked it out on the front end. It was only medical at that time.
When I came to Medicine Man, when we were medical only, he was the manager of the store and in charge of all of the computers. He pretty much was the jack of all trades. Andy leaned on Pete V to do everything, and he did.
Gave a little bit of my input on some improvements up front, and Andy really took it into consideration, and we applied a few of my ideas, ran with it, was successful, decided to put me as a dispensary manager at the time.
But very soon proved to be responsible, intelligent, and he was a hustler.
I started moving around the warehouse, checking out the grow, trying to improve little things here and there. He then promoted me into general manager of the whole company.
So he's one of those guys that you ask him to do it, and he gets it done. Whether or not he knows how to do it, he'll figure it out. He's probably the most resourceful person I've ever met. You know, he's a really important and vital, important piece of the puzzle for Medicine Man. Like, we wouldn't be Medicine Man without Pete V.
Sally, she is probably one of the smartest women I've ever met, honestly. And she's really about, making sure we supply a safe product, making sure we're staying compliant, and she's making sure that our numbers are correct. She knows a lot. She knows a lot about business. She knows a lot about how it's supposed to be ran. She knows numbers. She knows how to run numbers. She knows how to explain those numbers to me to where I can set my price points up front in the dispensary, and so we can make a profit as well as push out as much product as we can.
At one point, I realized that Pete was doing the job of about 4 people. One person can't do the job of 4 people. We are expanding rapidly. You are going to kill yourself if you continue to try to be responsible for all of these things. So we're at a nice place now. He's got great ideas, super creative. I mean, he didn't go to college. He had no leg up.
I work 60 to 70 hours a week here, and I don't mind doing any more if I have to. I'm 100% dedicated to this company. I believe that's because of how the Williams family has brought me into their family as well. They treat me just like they're my family, and family comes first, and that's how I feel about this company. I feel like they're my family. I'll do anything for them.
Definitely inner circle, yeah. Whether he wants to be or not. So Tyler, over the years, I really didn't know him that well, just family stuff, and always enjoyed Tyler's company. But then when he came to work with us, that's when I discovered how awesome this guy is.
We're open 7 days a week, but the growers are here pretty much from 8 in the morning till 5 at night.
So he came in as a grower just to learn the business. We didn't know what was going on, but we knew that he needed a job.
You get a lot out of a person by treating them like a human being rather than a body that is filling a void to produce, let's say, a plant.
Trying to figure out how we want to explain to all the growers to get the most bang for the buck out of the water that we're using every day without letting too much go to waste.
If you treat them, like family.
We're scrogging the plants.
All right.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So basically, when we put a plant in, it's we put a net down, and then we have to pull the plant apart to scrog it into place. And you're doing that to fill the canopy and to kind of fill every hole with the cola, and that's kind of the idea behind the scrog.
Some people aren't always going to be in a great mood when they walk in the door. Some people have bad days, some people have good days, but you got to respect that. And I think people just feel that from their coworkers, from the management around here.
And very soon, was a hustler. Did everything the right way.
You can get angry at somebody, but then you just lost production for the day.
He runs the entire cultivation in the trim room with respect, and he's got a great team.
It's just you got to give love if you want love.
I'm currently watering veg.
And what does that mean? Why are you doing it? How are you doing it?
We're using our pumps, giving them about 5 seconds of water each. We water twice a week here. Each plant gets its own care that it needs at that point. That way we produce the best possible product for our customers. We're all just one big happy family.
Trey's been like a real breath of fresh air. So I was looking for a new social media guy, someone who could run, because I was running, I'm doing the presidency, I'm running Facebook, Instagram, I'm doing all these stupid messages all day. It was taking a lot of my time. Anyway, we needed a brand guy. So I met with the guys from Mass Roots, and I just kind of threw it out there. Hey, if you know anybody.
I am the marketing director, so I handle any graphics. Anything with a Messman logo on it, it's coming from me.
Next day I get a call from Trey. Hired him on the spot. He came in and talked to me. Just instantly liked the guy. He's young, he's got great energy, really smart, and he reminds me of guys I used to hang out with at that age. So he's kind of like my jester sometimes. When I need a break, he'll just come in and shut the door and tell me a funny story. But he happens to be a brilliant designer, and he has great ideas. And the energy, I needed that kind of pump of energy from someone who is like-minded. So yeah, he's a great addition to the team, Inner Circle. Deb, I love. I hope she'll talk to you because I don't remember when I first met Deb. She was a friend of Josh, Kayla's boyfriend. They were in the military together. And so she got a job with us. I don't remember if she was trimming or bud tending or what. First impression, I thought she was kind of a punk or whatever, but she was cool. We had good conversation. She has a great sense of humor.
You seem like a smart person.
I try not to make sense, that would hurt.
And then slowly she just kind of became more Debbish, she's just a character.
I even did some military time.
Okay, where'd you go? Where did you serve in the military?
In Colorado. I was in the National Guard, so I was out of an Air Force base, but I was Army. I was a medic for 6 years. I can understand a lot of people's problems when they're actually coming here for a medicinal reason, whether on the medical or recreational side. If they're there for a reason other than, hey man, get me high, then I have a little bit more to come at them with and a little bit more to inform on.
What is that? What are some basic keys?
Just like the symptoms that they would be describing kind of help me gear in on what exactly it could be. Of course, even as a medic, you're not a doctor, you don't diagnose, but do your best to help them out. But anywhere in weed, it's kind of trial and error, so you know exactly how it's affecting you. So.
But I didn't see her real value until she decided she was going to leave, and she wanted to open her own bud and breakfast or do something different. She wasn't really happy. So we had a conversation, and she changed her mind. And I think she talked to Pete V. She talked to a lot of people, and I think she changed her mind.
I like to help out a lot with the inventory, especially having been through the military. It's important to me to be on point, be precise, don't be complacent about things. So I try my best to set up systems to help everybody stay with that.
What was agreed was that we would give her more responsibility. And at that point, she was made our trainer. So she does an amazing job of training every new employee.
Is it frustrating to you when you see things out of line?
It is. I just think I'm a little too OCD.
What I love about Deb, and I don't know if it's from military or her life or her background or whatever, is that she is whip smart, she's a hustler, and she gets it done. And she brings me problems that are solvable. Usually she'll bring me problems with a solution. Doesn't get better than that.
I'm more of a middleman because I do know what it's like to be at the counter too, whereas they don't necessarily know that, so they can't relate to some of the problems we're running into. Whereas I can. I've been on the inventory part, and now I've been on the bud tending longer.
Right.
So I can understand kind of how it's happening on both ends and kind of the happy middle we can all work towards.
Love her.
Be on point.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not hard.
It's not.
Inner Circle for sure, whether she knows it or not, but she's gonna go far if she'll stay with us.
What's it like working with Mom?
Oh, she's a trip. So she is very prim and proper, but yet not. So I'll make some really awful jokes and she'll chastise me for that, but then she'll make something worse. So she's a lot of fun, absolutely.
So the boys initially, and Sally obviously, and kind of everybody. Here we are, you know, April 20th, 2016, when they first came to you asking for that first, you know, whatever. Can you believe where we are?
No, I can't believe it. I haven't seen any money yet, though. I think they keep it all and they don't tell me. I just keep counting it and counting it, and I don't see it.
None of it ever gets to you.
No, it just goes to taxes and I don't get anything. I get $10 an hour.